On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chawinski.
Yes.
Work. Here. Bonsino.
Here.
Mayor Moller.
Here.
We
Will
have a
everyone
quorum.
please rise for our prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231, the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of each meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2011.
Mayor, at this time, under the approval of minutes for this evening, we have the regular meeting of April 7th, 2011.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Catamagna, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, discussion?
Yeah, I'll have to, I missed that last public meeting.
Yeah, so did I, Pete.
Would you record the two guys going on vacation, one doing extra work?
I was doing the extra work.
I'd rather be in Aruba with Keith.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chawinski.
Yes.
Work. Abstain.
Abstain.
Bonsino.
Abstain.
Abstain. Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have the public hearing for the 2011 municipal budget. To my right is our Chief Financial Officer, Roy Rigatano. To my left is our Municipal Auditor, Paul Lurch. We'll need a motion to open up the meeting to the public for anything exclusively for the municipal budget.
May I have a motion to open this meeting
So
to the
moved.
public? Moved by Mr. Conboy,
Second.
second. Second by Mr. Boncino. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to discuss anything on the budget, not on anything else? We'll have a second open meeting as soon as we get to that point in the meeting. Anyone? No? I'll close the public portion of the meeting.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I wish one of you would have asked one question. I mean, we're paying this guy money, we're paying that guy money, they came here, they're going home. No, they're not charging us.
Mayor, this evening under ordinances...
Thank you,
on-
Mr. Lurch, thank you, Mr. Rigatano.
This evening under ordinance, we have on first reading Resolution 108-11, introduce ordinance 11-07 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend chapter of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Traffic be passed and adopted on first reading. Be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, May 5th, 2011 at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing is required by law. And Mayor, if I may just make note to the members of the council that this ordinance was at their seats in the conference room this evening, and this is with the changes to the draft ordinance relative to snowplow and snow removal parking from December 1st through March 31st.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chawinski, second. Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
I vote no this.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chawinski.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 109-11, payment of bills, Resolution 110-11, confirmation of checks, Resolution 111-11, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 112-11, refund overpayment of tax due to reduction of assessment for Pizza Town USA Corp., Resolution 113-11, refund third-party tax lien for U.S. Bank Customer Phoenix, Resolution 114-11, refund third-party tax lien Habit Development LLC, and 115-11, which is to support the Click It or Ticket grant with the police department.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Chawinski, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, the consent agenda. Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Tomboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Lonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, under resolutions this evening, we have Resolution 116-11. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following name is hereby appointed as full-time clerk typist, custodian of funds in the purchasing office effective May 16th, 2011. Francie Joseph Keating of Woodland Park, New Jersey. Be it further resolved that the annual salary be $33,000 and is subject to the Department of Personnel rules and regulations.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Catamagna. Second.
Second.
Mr. Work. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Abstain.
Jerwinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Lonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have no applications, but under departmental reports, we have the Department of Public Works for the month of March.
Motion received and file.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. We'll go into committee reports. Where do you want to start? Frank, you want to start, or
President.
Mr. Work?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, okay, Mr. Catamagna.
Yeah, Mayor. Something about the school, the Board of Education. I have some notes here. I guess those, what they call those, new officers they put in school, they passed the course, SRO, they complete the course, they call SRO course. So everything is legal now. As we know, we altogether have 6, what they call those, guards, or, The resource, I don't know what they. one is a truant officer, and the other one, whatever, the guards at school. Anyhow, let's continue with this. I'm gathering that this third grade, the children are writing letters to Japan, to the kids in Japan. Oh, nice. Yes, that's great. I think something good for the kids. I just want to go brief on this. Then there is, I don't know if I can pronounce this right, Agesta Karkoska, grade 4, was one of the 3 winners in the American Legion. I am proud to be an American. It's an essay contest. And also, I understand here, beautification project schedule for May. They include 2 park benches purchased through a grant. And I continue fast. I don't want to give all the details. Takes too long. All right, an announcement here. On Friday, May 13th and May 14th, there will be a musical in middle school, Bye Bye Birdie. So I understand this shows have been very successful, and I guess everybody should go see these kids perform. I have an 11th grade student, Alexander Davis. I happen to have him in my Italian class. I had him last year. He's the first student of Elmwood Park to be accepted to the New Jersey Scholars Program. This young man is very intelligent. You know, sometimes he talks to me and I'm afraid to answer him. I think he knows a lot more than I do. I'll put you in a situation. Then over 100 local senior citizens came out to see the morning performance of Hairspray, and we treated with a complimentary breakfast. I went to visit them.
Good.
I make my rounds, shake hands with people. The high school performance Hairspray opened with standing room only on Friday, April 1st. A lot of my friends went there, and they told me I wasn't able to be there. I wasn't at time to see the night. The spring sport pep rally took place April 1st. Then there was, for the first time, a jazz performance, and I understand it was excellent. Everybody I talked to, I didn't go again as a negligent teacher, but a lot of people go in there, they enjoy it. It was good. It was excellent. Then the high school held a successful AP pre-testing dates on April 9th and April 16th. And the high school received $500 check for participation in Rutgers University Health Survey. And yesterday, April 20th, we honor the Honor Society Award we given to the kids inside the library. It was exciting to see so many young people dressed so nice and receive those awards. It was excellent. I like it. And the Italian trip, I was in the Honor Society there. The Italian trip this year, we postponed to next year. For good reason. The price went up so much, and I cannot sell any more cannoli. So, but what we decided, the Italian Club and the Honor Society, we are going to give a $1,000 check to the Jeff Leader family to help with the research
Nice,
for their 2 kids.
very nice.
So because we have no use for the $1,000 for this year, so we give it to them.
Well
I
worth
think it's a good cause. The kids were all in agreement with that. There's a lot of things here, but I don't want to discuss other stuff that we talk about in the back. Maybe one day we should get, after we have a meeting, we should get all together, perhaps to make Elmo Park, be proud of Elmo Park. One thing I have to say, some people in the audience ask why Mr. Tomko, the superintendent, got a 5 years contract. At the beginning, I was also upset. But when you realize what took place, Mr. Tomko doesn't have an assistant superintendent. So really, we saved $100,000 there. And when Mr. Casabullo was there, he had 3 secretaries. Mr. Tomko did away with 2 of them, the only one. So overall, I think he's saving us a lot of money. And I personally noticed that since Mr. Tomko took charge of the schools are working really well. The students look better with the uniform. The students that perform better. I'm very happy, to see that. And I know he's very active. He works very hard. And because it's the beginning, or maybe he will do this forever. I hope he will do forever. The rest, Mayor, we can talk about it when we have a meeting with the Board of Education and the Recreation. And I hope it will be soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Before I call on Mr. Chewinski, we do have a young lady who was just employed by us in the audience. Ms. Keating, would you please just stand so that everybody can get a look at you? Thank you. Mr. Chewinski, I was going to say something clever, but I couldn't think of it.
I'll give you a minute.
It's going to take 1 minute.
The fire department, Mayor, now that Frank, Jeff Leader, his brother Don Leader passed away this past week or so. My condolences to the family and the fire department. They're going to have their hepatitis B training on May 10th for all the fire department members. They're going to have their pension planning too at that same time at 8 o'clock. The fire department's going to participate in the Community Day softball game with the police on, I think it's June 4th. The FEMA drill, which I spoke of, which was for all the fire departments, Central, South, and North Bergen, we were pulled from that drill for some odd reason, which I really can't get into here. Also, the fire department is going to sponsor trophies at the ambulance car show, one in the name of Donnie Leader and one in the name of Ken Adamo. The generator servicing has started, and they'll be going from truck number 1 to firehouse number 4, servicing all the generators. Some short notes here. On the 15th of May, there will be a memorial for Ken Adamo at the Bergen Academy for Fire Training. On the 4th of June, Woodland Park has a wet down for a new truck. On the 21st, Saddlebrook is going to have a 100-year anniversary parade, which our fire department will participate. On the 29th, on the 14th, Moonachie will have a 100-year parade also. Everybody's turning 100, Mayor. I attended the Joint Insurance Fund meeting again on Wednesday. Everything seems to be working well. Lost time accidents are still going down, which they're very happy with. They're still working on petitioning the legislature to move to the sidewalk ordinance or legislation that puts in solely the responsibility of the homeowner, which it is, which I mentioned last time I was here. But unfortunately, the town gets named in the suit every time someone falls on a broken sidewalk, and the Joint Insurance Fund lawyer costs us $6,000 or $7,000 just to answer the complaint and subrogate it to the homeowner. On another note, I attended the county meeting last night Their budget was introduced, and it is going online, even though it's not really finalized, but they'll be bargaining back and forth, but they're at zero tax increase. They also are working on their 2012 budget at this time. They're starting on that as we speak. They already started with some important questions come up because of next year if they don't get grant fundings and this and that. Well, they, between their executive and their administrator, they pulled already for next year $30 million off the grant list, figuring they're not going to get it, anticipation, so they can base their budget on that. And while I'm speaking of grants, there was a number of people at the county complaining about grants to the freeholders. And I just want to make it aware that these grants are available and they come federal and state level. People, taxpayers pay for them. And the argument some of the people are saying, the mentality is we shouldn't accept them. Well, we should accept them because if we don't accept them, they'll go to other towns or other counties. The mentality where it has to stop is at the federal level to issue the grants. The grants are there, and if we don't take these grants, and I felt sorry for the freeholders getting blasted last night, it goes to other counties. So just to educate you a little bit about that, and that's about it, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Real quickly, the DPW was out. They're still working on some ball fields and fixing potholes. Seems like more potholes are opening up every day. I'm not too good at this, but I'm going to give it a shot. Richie touched on Donnie Leader passing away last week. Now, this is another young person in town that we're going to miss sorely. He had 25 years with the DPW, worked his way up to assistant superintendent, was also with the fire department for years, battalion chief. It was suddenly, he was sick for a couple of years, but from what I understand, I'm not a doctor, but from what I understand, it was something that had nothing to do with his illness that he was battling. Our hearts go out to him and his family. Like Richie mentioned also, his brother Jeff went to school with my kids, so I've known the family for a while. He has the two sons that are suffering from that rare disease.
Hunter,
What do you call it?
Hunter's
syndrome. And there's a charity dinner for them next week. The family is obviously being tested, and I just want to tell everybody, give a prayer for them, and hope they make it through okay. That's it, man. I don't have anything.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Work?
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, the Elmwood Park Health Department will be continuing offering the free adult consultation and child health care clinics to the residents of Elmwood Park. The adult consultation clinic includes a consultation with a registered nurse from Hackensack Hospital and will provide free blood pressure screening. The next health care clinic will be held on May 17th, Tuesday morning, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the private clinic room in the municipal building. The next child health clinics which also includes free immunizations for infants up to 18 years old. The next child health clinics will be held on May 2nd, on Monday morning from Monday evening, I should say, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. and May 5th, which is Thursday morning, from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Elmwood Park Health Department also will be continuing offering the free vaccines provided by the American Recovery Reinvestment Act program at no charge to all that are available to all residents of Elmwood Park and New Jersey, regardless if they're covered by insurance or not. And once again, Elmwood Park is one of the few towns in this area that offers these vaccines. And the 4 vaccines that are available, they're used for pneumonia prevention, prevent HPV, used prevention of meningitis, prevention of tetanus and diphtheria. These free vaccines will be available on May 17th from 9 to 11 a.m. Tuesday morning, or you can make an appointment anytime with the Elmwood Park Board of Health. The Elmwood Park Board of Health Department will also be holding a food handlers course on Wednesday, May 4th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Elmwood Park Municipal Building. Pre-registration is required to take this course. Elmwood Park Health Department is also holding a CMAC blood testing clinic on May 17th, Tuesday, from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. for all residents. Pre-registration in person is required. For a fee of $25, you will receive a comprehensive metabolic profile that includes total cholesterol, HDL, LDL, triglycerides, and blood glucose readings. My members love me when I read all this medical stuff here. I got to keep on going. Additional screening for PSA prostate test can be performed on men 40 years of age or older for additional fee of $35. The Elmwood Park Board of Health is also sponsoring a free rabies clinic on May 18th for all dogs and cats. The clinic will be held outdoors, rain or shine, at the Borough Field parking lot from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for dogs and from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for cats. And make sure all the pets that you bring down are licensed. The next Elmwood Park homeowners meeting will be held on April 28th, last Wednesday of the month, in the all-purpose room in the municipal building at 7:30 p.m. The guest speaker will be attorney Robert Romano, and the topic will be legal concerns for elderly and their families. So if you can stop on down if you have any questions for Mr. Romano regarding these issues. And last but not least, the Mayor and Council is still investigating sharing services with our health department, and we're diligently looking into saving the taxpayers money on that issue. So, and hopefully we'll be very close with that shared services agreement. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good job, thank you. Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. First, quick update on our financial front. As you know, I serve as finance chair along with Councilman Vancino and Councilman Catamanga. We are continuing over the next couple of weeks. We will be meeting again with department heads. We're trying to strategically come up with ways to get our rate down even further as what will be passed on to you as your quarterly taxes. As I reported at the last public meeting, we need to cut another $491,000 out if we want to come in completely at zero, where the tax levy from last year would match this year's. Right now, as it stands, on an average home valued of $338,000 per quarter, you'd be paying $25 for a total of about $98 for the year. We've got it right this time. So we're going to be working hard on that. We have some ideas on how to get there. So I want to keep reassuring the residents of our community that we are doing everything we can to ensure that you pay the littlest amount as possible on your municipal portion. I would like to comment on something that I received today. Upon receiving home, my wife gave me a good speaking to about having our house phone removed from all the Rolodexes. I did receive several calls regarding the recent ad that appeared in the Shopper yesterday, regarding the ad that was in the paper for getting out to vote about the school budget. Folks, as I've mentioned before, as this mayor and council has mentioned, we do not control or oversee the superintendent's budget. The superintendent has had several meetings. I think he even has one tonight, if I'm not mistaken, where the public can go and ask all the questions. How they choose to disperse their funds and use it in purchasing a full-page ad in the community news is totally up to themselves. We only get involved in that budget process if it should ever be turned down by the public. So that's the only time that we have anything to do with that budget. I've already returned some of the calls. I'll make the other calls back. You're all welcome to please call, but just keep in mind that none of us here have anything to do with that unless that scenario happens. Getting on to recreation, I'd like to mention there's quite a bit to talk about. The rec board met this past Tuesday. A lot is happening down at the recreation center. The rec commission is now in the process with working with our rec director. We are in the process of looking at purchasing our own school bus. We've already been speaking, our rec director has been on top of this, working and talking to First Student Transportation. They have several. This would be a used bus that is still up to all the state certifications and so forth. We're going to go through our due diligence to make sure that any bus that we purchase is within the state guidelines and so forth. Some things have developed down at the recreation center that no longer, in the past we used to use the district buses. That doesn't seem to be feasible right now in the immediate future. So for us to be able to continue to offer great services to our residents as well as their children, which the recreation services, we want to ensure that we will never be held back from being able to do that. And we think long-term, in the expense that would be expelled in that process, we'd be better off buying our own bus to be able to provide these services. This would not be done with taxpayer money. This would come out of the rec trust, and that's what that kind of money is there for, to help increase our services for you and your children and the youth of our community. Something else that the Recreation is going to be looking into, the Recreation Board and our Director, some high schools do this now, or school districts do it. If they don't have the means, as programs are growing, we're looking to possibly look into the renting or even purchasing. We're going to do some homework on it. Nothing is definite, folks, of on our outdoor basketball court, putting up during the winter months a bubble. Some high schools have these. They come in various sizes. Of course, I have no cost involved in that at the moment, because right now we're just researching what that would be. That would enhance us to be able to have some activities still go on at the Recreation Center. As you know, we only have one gymnasium. It does get split in half with a partition, but we want to be able to find ways to keep the kids more at the complex as moving forward. Some of the other things that we used to do in the past of using the district schools, that may not be feasible either. So we're looking to see how we can maintain what we have going on at the Recreation Center. Something else that the Rec Commission is looking into is the purchasing of a digital community board. This has been talked about for many, many years. Something that the committee they've had several companies come in. They're looking at all those avenues. They're also looking for sponsorships as well to help get the cost down. So all avenues are being discussed, and we hope to move that forward. Because as in the past, we would send home flyers, especially with the youth programs, through the usage of the backpack through the schools. That too may not be feasible in the future, so we want to make sure that our children of our community are well informed of what's happening at the Recreation Center. With all that, I also would like to comment on the basketball, wrestling, all had their awards dinner. They were well attended. The kids had a blast. The hockey dinner, which was the first season of hockey, which had, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 50 kids. Started out small, and as it got going, more and more kids started showing up. That went very well. There was a lot of checking going on at the food line, but the kids had a good time. Some things that are also happening at the rec center, the Mommy and Me classes were well received. That's going very well. Zumba classes, Mayor, you can still get in on it if you want. That started on the 14th of April, and that's going very well as well. A couple of things that are coming up. I have some handouts for you this time. May 17th, we are having our annual Spring Fling Dance. Mr. Lieberman has already been booked. It's going to be a nice evening with pasta and meatballs. Frank, you may want to go. Pasta and meatballs. Light refreshments will be served as well. This event started out about 2 years ago, and it keeps growing in numbers. Now it's up over 100 folks attend. This is a great evening to come on out to. Soccer registration going like gangbusters already, folks. Please, you may not have gotten this in your backpack. Please get on that, folks. You can register online. That's working very well as I've reported in the past. So soccer registration is ongoing. We also have offering, the Recreation Center is also offering for the summer, ages 6 through 12, a summer soccer camp. Check this out. It's going to be a great opportunity for your children to work on their skills at the soccer summer camp. Also, I've reported on this back in the colder months, but now it's starting to get warm. Hopefully, the warmer weather will come. The Spray Grounds Park. We're expecting a great year at the Spray Ground Parks this year. Our rec director is working on some event evenings as well. Maybe get wet and get a movie night as well. And don't forget, folks, something new that the Rec Commission decided to do in the off-season. You will be able to buy a pass on the weekends, a day pass, and we're going to have it open. Last year we tested opening it on Thursday nights, I believe, or it was Tuesday nights. We're going to expand it to 2 nights. It was one of those nights. So the Spray Ground Park is going to become more and more visible and usable by our residents, which is also a key factor in our summer camp. Talking about summer camp, folks, this year our summer camp registration is up and running. As I've reported over the years I've been up here as your liaison to recreation, our summer camp, and as the mayor has always talked about, and some of the members on council, if not all, our summer camp is the best game in town and in the surrounding towns. It's one of the cheapest. It's one of the most attended. It has wonderful features to it, components, and of course on those hot days, They love that spray ground. Whether you're in 8th grade or in 3rd grade, you love that spray grounds. Our gymnasium is air conditioned. The kids have a lot of fun, a lot of activities, and we're assuming that this year will even be even greater than most. I am going to announce that we've made some adjustments in our summer camp. It is now $290 per child. Last year was a little over $300. And we've also reduced the after-day camp. So folks, you will not see this flyer. It won't come home in the backpack. But please, there'll be signs all over town and a banner across Market Street to promote our summer camp registration. Don't get left out. Don't get left out in the heat. Come into the cold and get wet in the spray grounds. Great summer camp. I too would like to pass on my wishes to the Leader family. Don was a great asset to our community and a great help. Was always there, always lending a hand to everybody. So he'll be sorely missed. I am also, with that passing, we're all aware of the illness that has struck his two nephews. Next week there is an event for them at the Venetian, and it's already up to over 700 people that are attending. So all the people in the residents of Elmwood Park, all that are attending, thank you for coming out for this cause to support these two young children. As Councilman Chewinski mentioned, there's a lot of, back in December, we lost another great member of our community, Ken Adamo, and there's been a lot of great tributes coming up to Kenny. Last weekend at the St. Leo's Sports Dinner, Kenny was a big part of our sports program at St. Leo's. We had his wife and daughters and his mom and dad attend our function. At that function, they were awarded with this beautiful crystal, but we also retired a jersey in Kenny's name. He'll always have the best seat at every game right behind the home bench. It's a beautiful jersey that will be hung. Hopefully we get a picture put into the shopper to show it, the community news, but it was a great evening to honor Kenny. Also just like to mention the congratulations to Mike Pralick. Sorry, Lou, you probably not touched that maybe, but one of our officers who's getting, just want to congratulate him. I'll let Lou talk more about that. And also, folks, last thing, the Chamber of Commerce, myself, Councilman Chewinski, Councilman Castiglia attended their meeting last night. It's their second meeting. The Chamber is really starting to get going. We're very proud of that. The mayor and council here is real supportive of it. Brad, maybe you can do a story on it. I was going to bug you again. They are really starting to get going there, and it's really exciting for our community to see our chamber start to get really involved. There's a lot of great people that are attending. They're actually moving up their next meeting because they do want to get involved in Community Day, which they used to run, as we all know, and did a fantastic job. So this is very exciting for us. They're going to be, their next meeting, again, will be May 11th. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. back at BioReference. Last night was a great meeting and a great opportunity to see them all working and having a lot of positive dialogue. Thank you, Mayor. I gave away your nickname, sorry.
Councilman Borsino, you have a minute and a half.
Thank you, Mayor. Tom, do you need some water?
Yeah, I do, that's why I got Mary.
Maybe we should get some of those hockey kids over to Madison Square Garden and help the Rangers out.
Yeah, they had fun.
But on a serious note, relative to the Board of Rec, being a parent of 3 kids who have been involved in, I'll say, non-traditional Elmwood Park sports, it's really good to see our recreation department expanding the horizons here in town and providing some new offerings. It's a really good move on their part, and I appreciate it. They're working hard. I'd like to give an update on the New Jersey SEM electricity auction. Last time I was here, I mentioned the auction would be April 12th. They set a strike price at 6% below the basic utility generation services, so 6% below our utilities, PSE&G. They set out for bid for the basic service and for street lighting. And they accepted bids below the strike price for street lighting in all areas of the state. The basic electricity service, the bid did not come in, it came in over the strike price, so they rejected the bid. It was actually $4 thousandths of a dollar over the strike price. They rejected it, and they're going to go back out for bid on April 27th. I guess the takeaway is this program is saving money. Our electricity is less than what we paid in the contract last year. it's becoming very apparent to the energy providers that this is the game to be in. It's heightened the level of competition amongst the energy companies, and it should be a very, very lucrative program for us in terms of purchasing power going forward on both electricity, for the buildings, for street lighting, and for the gas utility. So we're going to keep going with that. I will also touch on, as Councilman Conboy mentioned, Officer Michael Prelick is going to be honored next week, April 27th in Trenton. He's going to receive an award from our State Attorney General for his work on making arrests to individuals who operate their vehicles under the influence of alcohol. In 2010, Officer Prelick recorded 155 drunk driving arrests. That was the most in Bergen County and the second most in the state of New Jersey. I'd like to commend him publicly for his efforts. It's a direct effort to keep the residents of our community safe, and I appreciate it. On the ambulance, for the ambulance corps, I believe I mentioned it the last time, I'll restate it. On Sunday, May 1st, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the ambulance corps building on Falmouth Ave, they'll be having a blood drive. Please go out and support their efforts. There is a shortage of blood in the state. And on Sunday, May 22nd, will be their car show in the Kmart parking lot. And finally, I've known the Leader family for some 30 years. Don Leader Sr. and I served on the ambulance corps. Had a lot less gray hair back then. But I'd like to express my condolences on Donnie Jr.'s passing, and just hope that everybody keeps in their thoughts and prayers Jeff and his family as their boys battle this real terrible disease. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. In my report, we have community development money, which is federal money that goes through Bergen County, and then the various towns that qualify can apply for that money, and we usually do. We usually get that money to fix sewers or roads or whatever's necessary in Elmwood Park. Councilman Castiglia came with me at the last meeting. We put in our requisition, and the meeting was called off for April. Now it's called off. It's going to be on in May sometime because, quite frankly, we don't know what the federal government's going to allocate Bergen County with the community development money. It may be a lot less, which means we'll apply for whatever we can get and then see what we can do with that money. But everything's tightening up quite a bit. I also want to let everyone know in Elmwood Park that I, once again, yearly, sent out my packet of information to all the various legislators in Bergen County concerning the sound barriers. We're not going to forget that. We qualify for it. We've been told we qualify. Everything fits in. The noise situation that exists certainly qualifies us for sound barriers, and we haven't heard. And I'm going to keep on applying, keep on asking these people to do something for us. On the very negative side, I sent those letters out. I haven't had one call. I haven't had one call saying, thank you, Mayor, we're still trying.
They're calling out, man.
Is that what it is? You know, even if they say, listen, we think you're correct wanting sound barriers, you're the only town in Bergen County that doesn't have sound barriers. I think there's a little part of Woodland Park that doesn't have sound barriers, but then you go further out, past Willowbrook, and you see the high hills on either side of the Route 80, the highway, and they have sound barriers way up on those hills, so the deer are very contented. Any birds up there are very contented. They don't hear any noise from Route 80, except that when we have the little valley just before you hit the Marriott, and all those people whose backyard borders Route 80 are still suffering from that noise. And quite frankly, on certain days when the wind is blowing in a certain direction, you can hear that noise quarter mile even more down East 54th Street or back the other way. So I hope that some of the letters that I sent out to the legislators, I hope they try to do something for us and help us out in some way, because we're still suffering from that noise. As a matter of fact, a while back, I was asked to participate in an interview right out here on the side of the municipal building, where the road is, and they had a television camera there, and we were talking about this, and the fellow with the audio asked if I could speak louder because he couldn't hear with the noise from Route 80. So it's certainly obvious that we're suffering from this, and for this reason, nothing is happening with Elmwood Park. I told the residents in the town I'm not going to stop. It's been about 16 years. Everything's documented, and we'll continue to do this every year until something is done to help us out. And I want to wish everyone here a very happy Easter. Enjoy, and good health to all of you. If there is anyone in the audience, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public. Anyone in the audience, please come to the lectern, give your name and address, and your positive statement about Elmwood Park. If there's no one in the audience who wishes to speak, I'll close the public portion. And before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I do want to indicate that this council meeting is being recorded for Channel 77. It's Tuesday at 12 noon, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 11 a.m. Or you can put on our internet, www.com, elmwoodparknj.us. And you can see this whole meeting. You can cut out Tom Conboy's report because it was a little lengthy. That'll save you a half hour. No, it's a good report. He's got a lot of material. I'm just jesting with him. He's got a lot of material from the Board of Recreation, the summer program that we're going to have, and the expansion of the Board of Recreation. So that has to get out, and we appreciate that. Okay? Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Gene, will you come to the microphone? I'll open it up because... Come to the microphone, Gene.
Name and address.
I'm opening up for Gene. He's a member of our planning board, and even though we closed the public portion, you're getting this one chance.
I live on Elmwood Park, and I'm concerned about that parking over there in the Rosemont section. We've always had signs up for alternate street of parking and all-night parking.
Yes.
Now we got signs that are covered, and it's getting to be, we don't know what it's getting to be. So I'd like to know what's going on and why were the signs put up to start with? Was
Okay,
it
we're gonna
complaints or what was going on that they are up?
We're going to be sending a letter out. There is some discrepancy between the signs and our ordinances that has been discovered. And we put the signs are up and we've covered them, and I'll get a letter out to all the residents that are affected by it. You're going to have 90 days to respond, and we'll see how it works out. The council is looking at doing away with that first block from Route 4 in, doing away with the time limit, 2-hour parking. We're only going to go, 100 feet? 100 feet from Route 4 in will be timed. They're going to request that the alternate side of the street parking will be eliminated so that you can park anywhere at any time. And the last part of that 3-section sign that used to be there was no parking any other time, which means that people could park there at night if they choose to do so. Now, if you're here complaining about your block or having some question about it, let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Because I see they opened up Orange Ave because they couldn't get the fire truck through there with the parking on both sides.
That's right.
So now it's going to be the same on all the other blocks going through there.
Not necessarily. If the people there decide that they don't want overnight parking there or they want the alternate side of the street parking, we'll try to accommodate.
Thank you very much.
What is wrong with your street, Gene?
Well, we get the parking up and down, the overnight, and there's a gin mill up there and a 7-Eleven, and they use that for their parking lot when it gets full up there. So it does get a hard thing, and sometimes they block your driveway or use our streets for bathrooms when they're leaving from up there, so it does get a little hairy around there.
Let me ask you 3 questions, if I may.
Certainly.
Do you have a problem, and any of your neighbors have a problem with doing away with the 2-hour time limitation?
Not really. We didn't see too much trouble with that.
Okay.
It's just the overnight and we should have the alternate side.
You want alternate side
Yes.
street parking, and you
Because
don't want...
that makes it easier for any kind of,
And
trucks
you-
go down there when they deliver to that
Okay.
7-Eleven up there, and
I
it's just horrendous getting through there.
And you want no parking at night?
Correct.
Okay. Are you speaking for yourself or somebody? I know I did get a call from one of your neighbors, but so far we don't have a letter and we don't have him here or her.
2 or 3 of them were there, but it's the holiday thing, so they couldn't make it. One had to go to a hospital, so they weren't, otherwise they would have been here.
Okay,
So
well,
I'm trying to speak for them, but
they don't have to put a long letter together, just answer those 3 questions that I asked you and send a letter or call Mr. Kazmark so that they can give their name and address, and that'd be sufficient.
very good.
Oh, hold on, Jim, before you leave, can I ask you a question? You say overnight's a problem there, overnight parking?
Yes,
What do you think of sticker parking, free to the residents? Ask your
just
people.
for the residents?
Yes. At
I don't
certain
know, I
hours.
could get kind of involved, and it's gonna.
Well, look, we've been looking into it, we're starting to look into it, a lot of towns are doing. Matter of fact, that meeting for Garfield gonna be open next week to the public, the work meeting?
It's always open.
You can come to the meeting next week, we're gonna start talking about sticker parking, it might concern you, bring your friends that are complaining, it might be help them.
I don't know, because most of the residents there they have driveways, so they don't have
No, but this is for overnight parking, it's a plus, a lot of towns are doing sticker parking, but it'd be good if you come down, put your input in.
Yeah, but then you can't get the sweeper through. You can't get the plows through when the snow goes through.
Now, plow we
I mean,
addressed.
that no parking like that has been that for 50 years or better. And we've never had any trouble. Now, all of a sudden, it seems every once in a while, something comes up, somebody doesn't want to park there. Either the stores up there have no parking.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, come down and give your input. We're going to start discussing sticker parking. I'm giving you the heads up on it. It would be appreciated if you come down.
Maybe.
And as far as snow plowing, we just passed an ordinance for alternate side parking when plows, odd and even. You aware of that ordinance?
Yeah, but it gets so involved, and you got to change it and do things this way. It worked so good for 50 years.
Well, that's not what we heard. That's why we made it this way, Gene. We heard it from other people that it wasn't working well, and that's why we did exactly what we did. So if
We
we
read
want to,
nothing in the paper that there was complaints going on, and all of a sudden,
they came to the
signs
council
were
and
covered, and we didn't know the
we
reason
came,
why.
come to the meeting or put it on and you'll see it.
It's
Okay.
basically complaints on one street. We
Yeah.
haven't had
Well, there's
anybody
some
else
other ones,
complaining
I've got
about
some
it.
other ones, just like you
So
say,
we-
3
we-
people.
As they say,
complained.
Orange Ave, they opened up because we couldn't get the fire truck.
Orange
Well,
Ave.
that was an oversight, and they had to do that. We
I'm
found that
sure
out
it
later.
was.
Sure.
Okay?
But
Thank
We'll
you.
get the kinks out.
May I
Thank you.
have a motion to adjourn?
See you next week.
Mr. Conboy, Mr. Poncino, all in favor? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, we appreciate it. So ordered.
All right.